Good afternoon, this is Peter Towers from AEST BIZTOOLS. Welcome to this webinar on Business Advisory Services Part 2. If you have not participated in the Part 1 webinar, we would suggest that you do so as soon as possible after you've listened to this webinar. So what we're going to look at today is looking at the strategies that follow on from what we discussed in Part 1. We're going to be looking at identifying clients' needs, marketing, the seminar proposal that we suggest that accountancy firms present to a number of their clients, and some tips on professional selling to assist in offering business advisory services. So the first area is the use of the SME Needs Analysis. This is basically a menu of the services that you're providing to your clients. It's an opportunity to summarize to them the types of services that your organization is supplying. And when we have a look at the SME Needs Analysis shortly, you'll see that it has some key headings: future business performance, taxation planning, future planning, wealth creation, risk management, succession and estate planning, business improvement services, and finance. There's quite a fair amount of ideas that you could discuss with your client from such a list. So let's just go onto the site and have a look at the type of activities that you would cover. So if we go on, we're going to click through to products. We're going to business advisory services. And within business advisory services, we're looking at the introduction to business advisory services, and we're going to look at the use of the SME Needs Analysis. You have the executive summary on the use of the SME Needs Analysis, and we are going to go into View so that we can see a PDF document on the SME Needs Analysis. Now, as part of the process, as always within AEST BIZTOOLS, you have an article, an advisory paper to help you and your team implement the advice on using the SME Needs Analysis. And what I've now brought up on the screen is the analysis, current business performance, how is business, looking at some of the KPIs, ratios, debtors management. Perhaps the client raises a question: how do you calculate debtors days outstanding? Don't just assume that all your clients know how to calculate that figure. And that could be a good area to start. Debtors is undoubtedly the biggest single issue of concern to small business operators in Australia at present. According to Dun & Bradstreet, debtors days outstanding is currently 55 days. That's an alarmingly high figure. What can you do as the accountant, acting as a chief financial officer for your small business clients, to try to reduce your clients' debtors days outstanding? Do they do budgets? Have they incorporated all the changes that they're supposed to under the Fair Work Australia requirements? If not, perhaps you should be either giving them some advice in this area if you understand it or familiar with it, if not, referring them to a human resources consultant. What about government grants? Raise the question with the client. Have they heard of some of their competitors and colleagues receiving government grants? If so, why wouldn't your client potentially be eligible for some grants? Be proactive and use a product like AEST BizGrants to identify grants that your individual client may be eligible for. Then you can go on to the second phase of the SME Needs Analysis. Look at taxation planning. Very important. And then we move into item 3, future planning. Does the client want a business plan prepared? Remember in the CCH report as to the problems small businesses are having, the second highest item was nominated as being a business plan. How many business plans have you and your colleagues in your firm prepared so far this year? Most accountancy businesses don't get involved in the preparation of business plans. Yet, according to CCH's report, small businesses are placing a business plan as a very high priority, as they should. Business plans are very important. They're like maps for tourists. If you don't know where you're going, how is your client going to know when they get there? Is there a business valuation needed? I think it's desirable that businesses have a business valuation prepared each year so they can measure their progress. Are they incorporating systems within the business which would enable a valuer to use a higher multiplier than 3 or 4 on the after-tax profit? Be a great report to give the clients, to give them an indication as to how they're going. Wealth creation, risk management, whole range of questions here. Succession and estate planning, and so on. So hopefully that is giving you an insight into the type of information that you might be looking at as far as using the SME Needs Analysis concern. So the next area I want to turn to is marketing. Now, marketing is very important for accountants. Traditionally, accountants have been able to escape marketing because the Tax Act has virtually forced business operators to go and see an accountant or a tax agent every year. And if you're being polite and rendered reasonable service to your clients, your SME clients, they traditionally return to the same accounting firm year in, year out. It's only when they've been looking for something different. Some of them have been looking for business advisory services. Some of them were looking for business plans to be prepared or budgets to be prepared, or trying to identify government grants they might be eligible to apply for, that they have started going off to other firms. But the real implication from the digital disruption, as forecast by Deloitte in their very interesting report published last year, is that there are significant changes going to affect accountancy businesses. Deloitte's forecast about a 35% change in their report over the next 2.5 years. What are you going to do to grasp the opportunities that change will present? One of the key areas in all this is going to be to develop marketing strategies, to be able to tell your clients that you do indeed offer a wider range of services. Part of the marketing strategy commences, in our opinion, with first of all being able to identify who your A-class clients are, because it should be a given that for every A-class client you should be able to offer them business advisory services. In my opinion, if they are not receptible to receiving business advisory services, they're probably not an A-class client. So you need to unlock your client's needs. Many writers have concluded that to do this you need to create a disturbance in the minds of your clients. So you need to be identifying those clients who are looking for particular services. You need to create a disturbance then in your own team members, because you need to identify those team members who are enthusiastic about offering a complete accountancy package. Identify the services that you can deliver, and then tell your clients the story about how your firm can assist them. Our recommendation is that you undertake training and mentoring with your managers and accountants so that they become familiar with this new range of products and services that you as a firm decide you should be delivering to your clients. Then invite about 20 of your A-class clients to come to a special seminar. Don't invite them all at once. There'll probably be too many. You don't want to be embarrassed by getting too much work to do all of a sudden. You need to plan it so that you can undertake this work without creating stress and unrealistic expectations by your clients. But after the seminar, invite each of them to a one-on-one meeting. Even if you've got the impression from their body language at the seminar they might not have been that interested, make the phone call. Send them the SME Needs Analysis. Try to encourage them to come to one meeting. In our opinion, the meeting should be free. 1.5 to 2 hours is a reasonable investment in time for accountancy businesses to make to start to encourage clients to embark on a business advisory services range of products from your firm. Make sure that whenever you give the clients a proposal, it's in writing. It's including a quotation. It has a payment schedule and it includes a time schedule. It's important that you follow up all proposals. Whether you like it or not, accounting is going to be dragged into modern business practices, whereby most of your small business clients have been involved in marketing activities for years. Most of them issue quotations, and then the successful ones follow up the quotations. Because in many cases, the recipient of the quote, for some reason or another, never gets round to getting back to people who have submitted quotations. I believe some of them actually sit back and wait to see who's going to follow up the quote. So follow up your quotes and you hopefully will get the work. And when you complete the work, make sure there's an exit discussion with the client and ask the client for a testimonial that you can place on your website and include comment in your newsletters about the type of business advisory services work that you are doing. Don't forget the opportunity to supply articles to industry associations as to the type of work that your firm's doing. Be proactive in accepting invitations to attend industry conferences and events and to speak at those events. If you or your team members are nervous about public speaking, go and join a public speaking organisation like Rostrum or Toastmasters and learn the skill. Learn to calm your nerves to be able to look at objective presentations to industry organisations. So we'll just go back onto the ESS BIZTOOLS website and we will show you the material that's contained within the site on marketing, so marketing strategies for business advisory services. You have the executive summary again, the preamble. We're again going to download it into View so we get the PDF document. There is a Word document for everything within ESS BIZTOOLS, so you can print it up if you require, so that you are going to receive an explanatory article which explores the whole concept of marketing by a professional accounting firm to your clients, and there are then some checklists and advice on marketing strategies. So what areas are you going to offer services to your clients? How are you going to go about it? It's mentioning some of the things that obviously I've just discussed. Checklist of conversion techniques. give you some idea of what you should be aiming at. SME Needs Analysis, presentation style one-on-one meetings, encouraging your product champions and industry champions to role play before they make presentations to clients, looking at what if type exercises, developing closing techniques, very specifically asking your client for the business. This is professional selling that this marketing exercise is preparing you for. And what might you do in identifying some of the clients that you're going to go and offer business advisory services to? Has anyone been asking for some of these services? Have they got a requirement for some of the services that have been nominated in the MYOB 2004 survey and the CCH 2013 surveys? So that hopefully gives you an idea of the sort of material that's included within marketing. We might just go into the marketing article. So it's going through what you should be doing to identify clients. We're not recommending you take out newspaper advertisements. The key thing is that for most accountancy businesses, you will have more than enough work in the business advisory services area from your current clients for the first year to 2 years as you develop this strategy of offering business advisory services. Talk to them first. Get their involvement. They'll then start to become your advocates. They'll be talking in the community and telling people about the great services you are offering. So we'll now move back to the PowerPoint slides. The next area we wanted to discuss is the seminar to launch business advisory services. We believe it's necessary to have an event like a seminar, but it's not for 100 clients. Maybe no more than 20 clients in attendance. Make sure your team members who are going to be involved in business advisory services are present. Allocate to individual team members who are the product champions the position of being a keynote speaker for 5 minutes on the particular product that they are going to be the champion for. Within the material, which I'll show you in a moment, we have scripts for each of the products included within business advisory services. But don't stand up and read them. Memorize the information, prepare your own, and deliver it off the cuff. Because it's very important that the clients believe that you've got some empathy for these issues with them, that you understand their problems, that you're going to understand their industry, that you're going to know more about their business than their profit and loss account. So our suggestion is a partner is the MC or Master of Ceremonies for this event, and that he or she invites the individual product champions to make presentations. And if you accept our advice that you're only going to offer 3 or 4 products at a time with 3 or 4 presentations by individual people, have some discussions. The whole event should be over in 75 minutes. And in the material we've also got some suggested handouts that you might care to get printed on your letterhead, logo, etc., to make available to the client so they get a bit more information of what's contained within these various products. So if we go back to the website, we can have a look at those items that are contained within the seminar. So planning seminar to launch business advisory services, we'll bring that up. As always, there's the executive summary which summarises what has to be done. You can see there's a whole range of scripts that have been prepared to assist you in undertaking this task. Obviously, you don't have to use these scripts and other templates if you don't wish. If you've got your own ideas as to how you might do this, so there is an article which describes, we'll go into that first, which takes you through the general organisation for a seminar. We've got a comment there on some of the pre-seminar organisation. Remember your firm's on trial when you run a seminar. Look at the seminar timetable. We've got links there then to the various handouts and scripts so that you can talk to your clients about what's required. And there's short commentary in the paper about each item that's included within the material. You also have the SME Needs Analysis, but we don't need to go through that again. So we'll just look at some of these other, there's a organisational checklist to make sure that everything's been thought of for what you're going to need at the seminar. So make sure someone's gone through and ticked that off. There's invitations. There's a timetable which you might care to use, which is saying, you know, this is what we're doing at this seminar. There's a suggested script for the chair, the MC, to use. So that you can give an overview as to what business advisory services are all about as it affects your accountancy business. And then we might look at some individual scripts. Script for the business health check, KPIs, ratios, what you're going to talk about. So hopefully that gives you a good idea of what we mean when we're talking about the seminar to launch business advisory services. The next area we want to move to is selling business advisory services. This is professional selling. It's not unethical selling, but to do proper professional selling, in the first place, you need to get organised. Team training, surveys, mock interviews, use the SME Needs Analysis, run the client seminar. You're not being professional unless you undertake this very important organisation first to make sure your team is organised and fit for the game of offering to sell products to your clients. If you then conduct one-on-one meetings, you need to very carefully scope the assignment, prepare the written proposal, and in the ESS BIZTOOLS material you have templates of the proposals. Meet the clients, discuss the payment terms, be very ethical and upfront in the approach to your clients. You've all seen good salespeople, and you've undoubtedly seen some very bad people. What's the differentiation? Well, we believe it's product knowledge. Now, you should have that in mountainfuls for your team members once they have finished the training. They're already accountants. All that we're trying to do is to encourage them to look at some other specific areas of accounting that relate to small, medium enterprises on a more intimate basis. They've been trained. Hopefully they will also develop some industry knowledge. And we want them to know more about their client's business than just the profit and loss account. That's a regular type comment that small business operators make when we discuss with them accountants offering business advisory services. The key requirement is they're wanting their accountants to know a bit about the KPIs, a bit about the industry, how it operates, where it operates from, who are the customers, who are the competitors. What insights could you as an accountant bring to a client in a particular industry, whether it's a butcher shop, a doctor's surgery, or a steel fabrication business? What insights could you bring to them to improve their business as if you were the employed accountant or the CFO for that business? It's important when you're selling to have a closing meeting, and what you're trying to do is to sell the package of services. The conversions are very important. They'll be helped by your convictions, self-belief, esteem, follow-up. We think it will also be helped if you use the scripts that have been prepared. You definitely need to use the SME Needs Analysis. It's a menu of the services that you're providing. Make sure you get testimonials from anyone that you have undertaken this type of work for. Place them on your website. Include them in your proposal letters. You need to ask for the business. And your team members need to understand that selling is good. It's probably unfortunate universities don't run sales degrees, because selling is very important in every business. Indeed, in a number of public companies in Australia and overseas, it's the sales executives who are the highest paid employees, not the CEOs. That is really highlighting the very important role that selling plays. So don't believe that selling is unprofessional. It's unprofessional if it's not done in a professional manner. So what we need to do now is just visit the website once again. And we will bring up selling business advisory services. So there again is an executive summary which goes through and summarizes some of the items that I've just referred to. We will go again to the PDFs because they're quicker to look at. So there is an article which basically covers the sort of things that I've just talked about, but it also includes some suggestions to be used in bundled services. So there's an outline of what might be in a goal package of bundled services to talk to a client about. And then we got a business advisory services selling guide that you could go through and review to help you in understanding professional selling to your clients and to others as your business advisory services strategy evolves. So hopefully you now have a very good idea of what's involved in business advisory services, of the type of systems that are implemented within the ESS BIZTOOLS package. Everything that we've shown you is part of the ESS BIZTOOLS goal package. And in recognition of the forecasts of the digital disruption and the tremendous opportunities that we believe digital disruption is going to bring to accountancy firms if the accountancy business decides to move fairly quickly to adopt some new strategies, we are offering a special promotional discount on our gold package, which includes a subscription to ESS BizGrants, $1,990 for 12 months 24/7 access, including GST. We'd be happy to hear from you, and we look forward to those of you who are not yet our subscribers to becoming subscribers. And to those of you who have viewed this webinar who are currently our subscribers, we hope that this has proved to be a good educational project for your team. Good luck with the challenges that the next 3 years are going to bring to your accountancy business. Have a great